Namaste, beautiful souls. This class is a yin class for any time of the year, but specifically for Vata seasons and highly Vata people. Yin is especially good for Vata because we have a tendency, myself included, I am high Vata, we have a tendency to be really up in our heads and always on the move, and it's really hard to sit still and feel like you are still accomplishing something. So yin is particularly good at grounding Vatas, and without further ado, grab all of your bolsters, your blankets, your cushions, your blocks, and I'll see you on the mat. To begin, take both legs long in front of you. You can keep a little bit of a bend in the knees if you'd like. And take the right foot in. So bend the right knee up to the sky. The right foot is on the mat, either on the right side or the left side of the left leg. We're already starting with a lot of lefts and rights. But take the foot either on the inside or the outside of the left leg. We don't need to flex that left leg here like we do in vinyasa class. So just let the left foot relax. Take the right hand behind you and hook onto the right knee with the left arm. So you're taking a seated twist. Really gentle here to begin. And just allow the body and the mind to settle in. So we're starting this practice in this gentle twist to stimulate the digestive organs, but also because this is designed for a Vata season or a Vata person, we have to keep things a little bit more interesting for our Vata folks. So starting in this twist, gently press into the floor with the right foot. Right hand is behind. Maybe look over the right shoulder if that feels comfortable to you. And allow the breath to lengthen, knowing we'll be here for a few moments. Notice if your mind begins to wander already. In classes, we hold these poses for 2 to 6 minutes. And though this class will be on the shorter end of those times, it can still be difficult sometimes to sit in stillness and in silence. So bring yourself back to center. Take the right leg long now, left foot in, either on the inside or the outside of that right leg. Take the left arm behind you directly into this next twist. Hook the right elbow around the left knee. And gently look over to the left or over the left shoulder. Allow the shoulders to relax. You want a mild to moderate twist. This is not a class where we'll be striving for that deepest posture, that deepest pose, but instead finding a medium ground, a middle ground. Or you can feel the stretch, but you can also relax into the stretch, into the posture. Allow the spine to be long, the gaze soft. And come back through center. Take both legs long now. You can shake the legs a little bit left and right to release anything that might have tensed up in there. Now take the soles of the feet together, knees wide. And take the feet a little bit farther away from you than you normally would. So in a vinyasa class, we tend to drag the legs in quite close. But here, let's take the feet wide or long, farther away from you to create a more diamond shape with the legs. Inhale deeply, ground down through the sits bones. And as you're ready, exhale, forward fold over the legs. This wide-legged cobbler's pose. Great place for a block or a cushion to rest your head on. And once you have gotten as deep as is comfortable for you, you can allow the head to really release, the back to round a little bit, and the breath to be long, deep, nourishing, in a way that feels refreshing to you. Supportive. Good. You can take the backs of the hands underneath the legs. If you can rest the forearms on the mat. If not, you can of course always be up a little bit higher. And if the block is just totally not accessible to you at all, that's totally fine. Just forward fold as much as is comfortable. And draw the chin a little bit into the chest to stretch the back of the neck, the spinal muscles. We'll be here for a little bit longer than we were with the first twists. Notice in all of these postures, each of these postures, what kind of dialogue your mind is having. If you have a tendency to want to leave the pose, are you telling yourself you're bored? Or maybe it feels really good and you're so happy to be in it. All of this is just mind chatter. So notice it, acknowledge it, see what it sounds like today. But try not to attach to it. See if you can let it go and stay with the breath and stay with the posture, even when you think that your mind is done. The mind will give up long before the body does. Another few seconds here. Maybe drop a little bit deeper into the posture if that's available to you today. And then slowly, gently, with your head dipped, your head bowed, roll the torso up into an upright position and come for a moment into Sukhasana, cross-legged pose. Easy pose. Keep the eyes closed and the attention inward. And then take the right leg in front of you once again. Bring the left foot inside the right thigh. Inhale, reach up, get a lot of length on that spine, a lot of air and buoyancy in the lungs. And as you exhale, forward fold over the right leg, Janu Sirsasana. Great place for a block or a cushion, once again, to support the forehead. We'll be here for a couple minutes, so don't try to take your deepest pose just yet. Allow gravity and time and breath to draw you deeper into the pose as we rest here. So notice if you're trying to strive to get your forehead all the way down, back off a little bit and see how that feels, and notice that over time you might get a little bit closer without stressing the body, without striving for anything, simply allowing gravity and the breath to release the muscles and allow the body to relax further. Be here for one more minute. If your mind was beginning to wander, draw it back in. See if you can't lengthen the breath a little bit more. Next, inhale, draw the chin into the chest and slowly roll up to an upright position. And then turn the hips to the side. So now the left foot is no longer touching the thigh. We're creating a big V with the legs, but keep the left foot in, right foot out. Inhale, grow long along the spine. And exhale, side bend over to that right leg. So bringing the back of the right arm, right hand to the mat perhaps, or to a block. And reaching the left arm up and over towards the toes. If you can't reach the toes, that's fine. You can always bring the left hand in front of you for support, or up onto a block for support. We're just trying to get a nice long stretch along the left side body. Really opening up the ribs, the hips. In the armpit, maybe you might be feeling a little bit of a stretch along the lats. So ground down through the left foot and gently reach, or left hip rather, and gently reach up and over. Breathe into the spaces where you feel sensation. Slow it all down. And notice if you have a tendency to tense up when you're striving to reach these postures. If that's the case, try to mitigate that by breathing more deeply, by telling the body mentally that it's safe, it can be relaxed. This is a little bit of an intense posture, so do come out of it if you feel like you can't hold it for a couple more minutes. Come out of it a little bit, not all the way necessarily, but a little bit, so that you're not in your deepest stretch at the very beginning. Because if you're at your deepest stretch at the very beginning, well, by the end, you'll be in a really deep stretch that your body might not be prepared for. So coming out that little bit gives the body permission to relax so that it can sink more deeply into these postures over time. And as you're ready, slowly, gently make your way back up to an upright position and take whatever movements that you might need at this point. We've been holding these postures for a little bit of time, so maybe you need a little twist or a stretch or a shake or a jiggle. And once you've done that, whatever that might be for you, take the left leg long, right foot in the left thigh. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Same thing, but the other side. So maybe bringing a block to the shin to gently rest your head there, or a cushion. Something so that your neck and your head can relax here. Relax the shoulders down the spine, so maybe don't reach for the toes, but take your hands onto the mat. Notice the stretch all along the right hip, perhaps. That's where I feel it. And if you've lost the breath, make sure to come back to it now. Lengthening the inhales and the exhales. Especially the exhales. Maybe making that exhale just a beat or two longer than the inhale. Finding that place that you can hold for a few minutes, supported by the breath. One more minute here. And begin to slowly make your way back up. And open the hips out to the right now. So the left leg comes out to the left. The hips are opening to the right. The right foot is no longer touching the thigh. And staying facing the right side, bring the left hand down, or left back of the arm down onto the mat or a block perhaps. Reach the right arm up and over. And you might notice each side is a little bit different. This one is much, much tighter for me. So wherever you are, try not to go as deep into the posture as you possibly can. Prop yourself up with blocks or cushions, so that this is a comfortable place to be for another couple of minutes. And if you notice that it's too intense, definitely come out of it just a little bit. Recommit to the breath, to the posture. slowly make your way back up. Take whatever stretch you might need to take before we move into the next posture, which is the last posture before Shavasana. So come into a seated pose, legs straight out in front of you. You can always bend the knees, like I mentioned in the beginning, and place a rolled up blanket or something underneath the knees to support. Let the feet fall to the left and the right. So in a vinyasa class, we like to flex the feet up towards the sky, but here we'll just let them fall out, externally rotating the thighs, the hips, the legs. Grounding down through the sits bones, you might also want to place your hips up on a rolled up blanket or a small cushion to support so that we have an anterior pelvic tilt, meaning that our pelvis is sort of tilting forward rather than back. Bring the backs of the hands onto the mat on the outside of the legs. Draw the chin a little bit into the chest and slowly begin to forward fold over the legs. So you will have a little bit of a rounding in the back, that's okay, but do try to come belly button first. The backs of the hands are down to try to stop us from putting any kind of pressure in the arms. We really want gravity to take over here in this forward fold. So back is a little bit rounded. You might be noticing a stretch already. Chin draws into the chest. Head is really heavy. You might notice this all the way down into your glutes, maybe your hamstrings, any part of your back. And again, this can be quite an intense stretch, so show yourself some compassion. Breathe through the sensations. Be aware of where and how you're feeling this posture. And keep the attention internal if possible. Lengthen the breath and really allow the head to be super heavy, like it's a bowling ball attached to your neck. We'll be here for one more minute. Gently, gently, gently begin to roll up vertebra by vertebra. Head is the last thing to come up. Come up super slowly here. There's no rush. No rush at all. In fact, it's better the slower you go. Once you make it all the way up, again, take whatever kind of little movements you might need before we roll down into Shavasana. So this is a great place for a bolster underneath the knees to really support the lower back. Take the arms to the side, palms facing up. Relax the shoulders into the mat. Notice if they have moved up towards the ears, draw them down the mat. Lengthen the back of the neck. Maybe shake the head a little bit. No. To massage the back of the head, back of the neck. And then come to stillness. Really supported here by the mat, by the practice. Allow the breath to release into its natural rhythm, flowing in and out through the nose. Let the body fully release heavy into the mat. And take this complete relaxation, the most beneficial for the parasympathetic nervous system. You'll hear my voice again in a few moments. Feel free to stay here for a little bit longer if timing allows. Otherwise, begin to move your fingers and toes, gently pressing the thumbs to the pad of each finger, bringing sensation back in to the body, bringing the attention back to the body. Slowly walk your feet in towards the hips, roll over onto your left side. Using the left bicep or forearm as a pillow, place the right hand onto the floor and stay here a moment. Grounding down through your hand into earth. into that connection that we share with every being on this planet, that connection with life. And remembering this connection is always available to you by simply being present and being grounded. So when you're ready, press through that right hand, come up to a comfortable cross-legged seat, Sukhasana. Draw the hands to prayer at heart center, dip the chin. And bow to your hearts for their forgiveness, compassion, and love. Namaste.